But yeah, man. Vegas, Dallas, Florida, Carolina. And well, I mean, we're underway in the conference finals. Each series has gone one game so far. And let's start off in the East, where, oh boy, four overtimes in game one. Dear Lord, I am so glad I didn't even attempt to stay up for this. I was
Well,
trying to listen on the NHL app with the radio broadcast. I'm in bed trying to listen. I'm like this, just like trying to pay attention, like completely zoning out every 30 seconds. As soon as the first overtime ended, I tapped out. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go to bed. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. I gotta work both jobs. And
well,
then next thing
yeah.
you know, it goes four overtimes, and I wake up and go, oh, thank God I didn't stay up for that.
Well, you know who did stay up for it? I was at
You're a
a
trooper.
under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't have, to be honest. I mean, I'm a huge hockey fan, but I mean, come on. I mean, 2 a.m. in a work night, we're adults now. It's hard enough to get time to record
See,
Pucks and Brews.
the
But I
difference
get sleep.
between this one and the Florida Columbus five overtime one,
Tampa,
I
yeah.
mean Tampa Columbus, sorry. That one started at like 3 p.m. So we
That was an
didn't have an
afternoon.
excuse. This one we
Yep.
had an excuse.
You're absolutely right. But I went to a rec game with a few of work buddies, and after their game, we went upstairs to the bar and watched the Panthers game. Before the game, before the overtime started, I was like, "All right." I came out of the bathroom and I just had this rejuvenated just thought process. And don't ask why I had a rejuvenated thought process out of the bathroom. I don't know why the hell I said that. But I just said to my buddy, I'm just like, give me $50 on the Panthers to win in overtime because and then we watched the first 3 minutes of OT and they won, and I was like, oh my god, the Panthers won in overtime. Let's go. Goal was called back. I'm like, oh my gosh. We end up going back to my apartment complex. One, two, three, four overtimes. I don't know how far we were going to go, but I got to sleep at 2:30 a.m. But I got to bed at 2:30 a.m. a winner. So, that felt good. Thank
That's
you,
always a
Matthew
good thing.
Kachuk.
Yeah, and dude, the craziest thing, I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that it went four overtimes or the fact that it was 13 seconds away from going to a fifth overtime.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And there was a part of me that kind of wanted to see a fifth overtime. It was a bang bang play, Brett Burns with the turnover, but and right on Kachuk's tape, and it was so funny. Kachuk's celebration. He's like, I don't even want to celebrate with y'all. I'm going off. I'm running to the locker room. I'm getting some shut eyes. So no, that was a really fun game, and
Oh
props
yeah.
to the fans in Carolina for staying that whole time
Yeah.
and watching their team lose must have been tough. So
I had a few friends that were at game one of Rangers Pittsburgh last year. They the one that went three overtimes,
I was.
including not including you, had some other people. Nobody was happy after that.
I remember that. Range had a lot of chances, but I knew when Louis Domingue came into the game
Yeah.
to replace Casey DeSmith, and we still couldn't score. And then it was like one of Pittsburgh's only chances, face-off win, deflection by Malkin. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Hmm.
Really? Malkin's
That's
going to be the guy to win this game, huh?
yeah, that's how that game was gonna end. But let's be honest, Kachuk kind of sniped that one.
Oh, he did. That
Yeah.
that was an absolute snipe. And you know what? Credit to the goalies too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Freddie Anderson and Sergei Bobrovsky. I mean, uh, absolutely brilliant performance on both sides. There were a multitude of moments where that game could have ended. Like you go back to Tampa Bay against Columbus in their five overtime game. There were not a lot of grade A scoring chances in that game. It was just a lot of all right, we're content with just moving the puck out and playing low danger hockey. That game between Carolina and Florida was not low danger overtime hockey. There were a lot of chances, and the goalies kept that game tied, almost as far as five overtime. So Freddie Anderson and Sergei Bobrovsky deserve a lot of credit.
100%. So, what was your prediction before I completely forgot to like get give my predictions out on social media, but I had Florida in seven before the series because I still could not get past the fact that Svechnikov is out for the Hurricanes. It's just like I kept coming back to that. And I have a habit of when I underestimate teams and they go far, that if I keep underestimating them, they're going to keep going farther. So I hope I don't jinx the Panthers in terms of picking them in seven. But I think that was like the ultimate decision that I came to prior to game one.
Right. And for me, prior to game one, I had the Canes in six. I thought the Canes were going to win this series rather easily, but that's not how I feel now. Because I'm telling you, it's close in net, but Sergei Bobrovsky is on another level. He is on another level. He's the best Sergei Bobrovsky we've seen in a very long time, probably since the first round sweep against the Tampa Bay Lightning
Mm.
in 2019. So look, Florida and Columbus and Carolina, two teams that deserve a spot in the Stanley Cup final. But for me, I'm sticking with the Hurricanes, and I still think they're going to win this series. I think it's going to go 7 games, but I think it's going to be really close, and I think it's going to be really tight. But I think the Canes are just more of a well-rounded group
Mm.
and better coached.
It's very hard to argue that.
But Sergei Bobrovsky is the best goaltender in this series, and I would not be stunned if he were to win this series for the Panthers. I wouldn't be shocked. But gun to my head, I am taking the Carolina Hurricanes to reach the Cup final.
Mm. All right. So your prior
Canes in seven.
Okay, so your prediction prior to the series was Canes in six. After game one, it's Canes in seven. I think
That's
I'm
right.
going to stick with Florida in seven.
Okay, right
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
But
because
I would like to see either team in the Cup final.
yeah, I
Like
wouldn't
just
hate
for
either team.
prediction purposes.
Yeah,